Hey guys, it's Dan the Z-Man here, bringing you another music review. This time it's Interpol's fourth album, and I have it right here. It's self-titled. As you can see, the cover is basically the band's name falling apart, which is very symbolic of what happened recently with them. Their bassist Carlos D just left after the recording of the album, and it could be for various reasons, but I seem to notice that in this Interpol album, the bass is very light in the mix, and maybe he didn't agree with that. It's not as noticeable as, say, their first album, Turn on the Bright Lights, which, speaking of that album, this was kind of seen as a return to form for that kind of musical style, where just the very dark, brooding music, but there are some light spots as well. The first song I led you in with, Success, is one of the popular kind of hard songs that gets you into the album, and Barricade, the first single, is also very poppy, and it's really good, and it has a kind of unexpected ending for how the music was going. In my opinion, it just kind of shifts, but it's really nice and really mellow out at the end. The first song that was released for free, Lights, was also a really strong song to me. A lot of people didn't like it, but it's a slow burner kind of build-up song that at the end it kind of has that repetitive line, and it was really good to me, and it's one of the first songs I heard by Interpol, so it kind of got me into the band in the first place. But there's also some of those more, dreary songs, really emotional kind of sounding songs, like Always Malaise, which I'm about to play for you now, but it has a lot of great background vocals, and throughout the album it's like that. Some of them oddly sounded like Damon Albarn of Gorillaz and Blur, but it's just kind of weird how that worked out. But I'm going to let you listen to a clip of that right now. Hey, welcome back, guys. Hope you enjoyed that last clip. There's some real strengths and real downsides to this album. I'll start with some of the other strengths. I really do enjoy Paul Banks' vocals this time around. They were really good in Turn on the Bright Lights, which is the only other Interpol album I've actually listened to so far. But this time they have a lot more range. They're not as monotone, and the comparison to Joy Division in that respect gets a little not as clear-cut, It's just, I kind of feel like it's how Muse got compared to Radiohead at first, and with each subsequent album, they kind of grew away from that stereotype. I kind of feel like Interpol slowly grew away from that Joy Division comparison a little bit. But, so yeah, his vocals were great. The background vocals, like I mentioned, were really good. And another aspect I really liked was more inclusion of piano. There's a lot more little piano riffs and underlying piano throughout the album, especially in maybe my favorite song on the album, Try It On, which I'll play for you at the end of this review. And some of the negatives, though, the last few songs are really kind of dreary and gray. Like, there's not as much, things that you notice in them. It's just all kind of the same noise, and it's just not very exciting, and there's not too many high points in those songs. So it kind of leaves the album hanging at the end. And also, compared to Turn on the Bright Lights, the songs are pretty good, but there's none of them just have that extra oomph, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. There's not as clear differences between the instruments that made Turn on the Bright Lights sound really rich and full in the production. This just sounds a little more mixed together, and there's not as many differences between all of the songs, so that kind of weighs it down a little bit. But overall, I still think it's a good album. It's not something I'll probably be listening to all year or anything, but I'll still give it a 7 out of 10. I think it's pretty good, and if you're just looking for that darker kind of, rock, moody rock, then I would definitely pick this one up. But until next time, just keep watching, guys. More reviews on the way. And remember to check out the blog post at zmanmusicreviews.blogspot.com. And I'm going to play you guys out with my favorite song on the album, Try It On. So enjoy.